Number 12. The author of the passage would probably agree with which of the following? So these are kind of frustrating because you have to look at each one of the answer choices at a separate time and kind of analyze it as you're going along. So if we look at A, it says, when a man is tired of London, he is tired of life, for there is in London all that life can afford. So that sounds like the author might have even written it, because it's saying that London has everything you could possibly want. So if you get tired of that, you're done with living. So we like A because it really just sounds like the author would have put it in this essay. B says, nothing is certain in London but expense. So that is definitely not really positive, and as we know, this entire passage is super positive about everything London has to offer. And we know it's expensive, but he doesn't really focus on that point. C says, flowers are as common in the country as people are in London. So yes, he did talk about London's crowded streets, especially Edgware Road, but that's not the focus of this passage, and it doesn't really connect in terms of the flowers in the countryside. We don't know anything about how many flowers there are. So that's not really what we want to focus on here. D says, the lowest and vilest alleys of London do not present a more dreadful record of sin than does the smiling and beautiful countryside. So we know that this author is having a love affair with London. He's clearly not going to use terms like lowest and vilest, so that's out as well. And E says, a mighty mass of brick and smoke and shipping and dirty and dusty, but as wide as eye could reach, with here and there a sail just skipping in sight, then lost amidst the forestry of masts, a wilderness of steeples peeping on tiptoe through their sea-coal canopy, a huge dun cupola like a fool's cap crown on a fool's head, and there is London town. So this goes from negative to positive, but focuses on the shipping aspect, and the person who wrote this isn't focusing on a specific industry. He's focusing on the grandeur of London at night, which would definitely not be E, because that's too specific and not positive enough. And our correct answer is A.